Christmas.
Very nice. Okay, I'm going to call this meeting to order.
No, I'm just looking for something in my pocket. Thank you.
Call this meeting to order. Ho, ho, ho. That was for you. We have a roll call.
Chaplin. Here. Desart. Hart.
Here.
Ozark.
Here.
Tornatori.
Here.
Zay.
Here.
Okay, next, do we have any public comment?
Nope.
And I should look at the correct. Thank you. I made my own copy. Okay, thank you. All right, no public comment. And next I'm going to ask for a motion to approve. I'm going to move to approve the minutes of Tuesday, November 16th for the Public Works Committee.
Second.
Okay, any comments, changes, questions? Hearing none, all in favor?
Aye.
Okay. Next, we have a consent item, and I'm going to move for approval. No change to PO 5340 SERV, a change order to extend the time of the contract. No change in the contract total.
Second.
Okay, and any questions, discussion? Hearing none, all in favor? Okay, none against. Okay, next, move to approve payment of claims, public works, and facilities management. Okay. Any comments, discussion? Hearing none, all in favor?
Aye.
Okay, next, we have a professional services agreement. I move for approval of FMP 002022. Recommendation for the approval of contract issued to White Construction Services Incorporated to provide professional construction manager as advisor services related to the replacement of JLB HVAC system for facilities management in the period December 15th, 2021 through June 30th, 2023 for a total contract amount not to exceed $842,349. Professional services vetted through a qualification-based selection process. Second?
Yes.
Any questions or comments about this? Okay, hearing none, all in favor?
Aye.
Next, we have a joint purchasing agreement. I move for approval of FMP 002122. Recommendation for the approval of a contract to Home Depot for miscellaneous maintenance, repair, and operation parts and supplies as needed for county facilities for facilities management period January 1st, 2022 through December 31st, 2026 for a total contract amount not to exceed $150,000. Intergovernmental Cooperation Act. Second, any comments or discussions? Hearing none, all in favor?
Aye.
Okay. None against. Thank you. Okay, next I move for approval of FMP 002222. Recommendation for the approval of a contract issued to Conference Technologies, CTI, for phase 2 of the courtroom technology upgrades for the Illinois 18th Judicial Circuit Court at the Judicial Office Facility for Facilities Management for the period December 15th, 2021 through November 30th, 2022 for a total contract amount not to exceed $773,539.45. Competitive bids not suitable for competitive bids. Sole provider proprietary software.
Second.
Built for the courthouse, excuse me. I have a second. Any comment or discussion about this? Mr. Zay?
Yeah. I don't understand why it's the sole source.
It's sole source. So this is finishing off the courthouse automation that we did on CARES Act. This is the final piece. Two reasons. One, it matches in what we did before. And I do believe that the state of Illinois dictates what system that they use for automation.
But
So
it's just not automation. I mean, this is more hardware than anything else.
the overall process, how to tie into it, but this mimics exactly what we did in the CARES Act. So we're kind of bound by it, but this finishes all the remaining courtrooms that are left over there.
All the remaining, it says it's doing 40.
Yeah, it's
I
the,
mean, what did we do during CARES Act? It seems like we're doing much more.
Sure, we're
There should have been
finishing it
something
off.
done during CARES Act for the month.
Suzanne Armstrong goes, she's on remotely, she knows some of the specific details. We're going back in the courtrooms and we're doing some additional add-ons that we didn't have time and money to do in the first go out. But we are hitting 40 courtrooms with this work.
And I'm happy to address this also. I can tell you one of the things with sole source are two things. When we did the CARES Act, and first off, I want to thank the county board again for the CARES Act, because very quickly we got phase 1 of the system in and we were able to immediately get on Zoom. but we had no idea when we did that how it actually operated. It was a whole new world. And so once we got into it, we realized, hey, we're not having full hybrid experience where people can see the face of the judge. You know, they were seeing more of a panoramic thing. So this is adding microphones and speakers and cameras to complete the experience as the court is functioning now with Zoom. The sole source part of it, two of the things that are very important is CTI did all this programming on these Crestron systems, and I'm not tech, but just these screens, touch screens that the judges basically are kind of movie directors. And so then they need to feed in the additional cameras or microphones into that system and do that software engineering. But the most difficult part of this project was dealing with CourtSmart. And CourtSmart is our state-funded court reporting system. And this all had to integrate so that in addition to having that full hybrid experience, we have a record that works. And that was a very difficult relationship that CTI established and has worked with, and we want to continue. So I hope that answers some of the questions.
Thank you, Suzanne. Anyone have any other questions? Okay, hearing no more questions, all in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Any opposed? Okay, that passes. Thank you. I now move for a contract increase, PWCO 000222, PWCO 0031B20, amendment to resolution PWCO 0031A20, issued to Polydyne for additional polymer for the Woodridge, Green Valley, and Knollwood facilities for Public Works to increase the contract in the amount of $4,622.45, taking the original contract amount of $246,452.85 and resulting in an amended contract total amount not to exceed $251,075.30, an increase of 1.88%. Any questions or comments about this?
Second.
Second from Mr. Zay. Okay, no questions. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. None opposed? Okay, thank you. This passes. Next, I move for approval of 2022-7, approval to Rock Equipment Rentals for a Vector truck, which was necessary due to the department-owned Vector truck needing repair. It was originally anticipated to be a 2-week rental in the amount of $12,500. The repairs were delayed due to parts, and Public Works needed the rental for 2 months, resulting in a final total of $25,000. The Vector truck is critical equipment used to respond to emergency backups and excavations 24/7.
Second.
Second, any comments or discussions about this item? Okay, hearing none, all in favor?
Aye.
Okay, thank you. Okay, next I move for approval of PW 000504, First Amendment to Standard Water Tower Lease Agreement with T-Mobile USA for the Rosewood Water Tower.
Second.
Second from Mr. Zay. Any comments? Questions? Hearing none, all in favor?
Aye.
Any against? Okay, thank you. And next I move for approval of PW 0032F97, Second Amendment to the 5th renewal to the Nordic Park Water Tower Lease Agreement with T-Mobile.
Second.
Okay, second. And any comments, questions? All in favor?
Aye.
Okay. No opposed? Thank you. Next, informational. Okay. Move to put on file this information, TEP 002322, recommendation for the approval of contract purchase order to Acela Incorporated for managed application services for building and zoning, transportation, stormwater, and public works departments to provide support with permitting software that will allow online submittals, electronic document reviews, permit tracking, and mobile inspections by applicants and/or county staff, as well as the creation of specifications for and the completion of development of 4 adjudication reports for building and zoning. This contract covers the period February 21st, 2022 through February 20th, 2023. Contract total not to exceed $220,200. Exempt from bidding, competitive bids, not suitable for competitive bids, sole source. Acela is the sole provider of this software application.
You gotta make that one thing the same.
Okay, go ahead.
So this is, we're very happy that we can bring this forward. Our comprehensive permitting program that Stormwater did start. We actually followed suit. They had Acela a while ago. You will have this program go live in probably January, February. That will be a comprehensive, the first time this county has done a comprehensive permitting program that incorporates all the different departments. So this is a big step forward. So we're pretty excited to move it forward.
Okay, so for informational purposes, can I have a second? Okay. All in favor of accepting this information?
All right.
Okay, thank you. Next, we have a presentation on advanced metering infrastructure project, AMI.
You got it up? All
There
right.
it is. Okay.
Stan or Sean, do you guys want to start?
Yeah, I'll kind of kick this one off. So this has been a Public Works Department initiative for the last few years. We realized a few years ago, our water systems, our communities that we partner with, new meter reading, provide sewer service for, the need for new meters. Our meters are almost 30 years old in a lot of our system. We realized that we our unaccounted for water started creeping up. The enhanced customer service needs out there. There's just a demand for this. So we started looking at meters probably 3 years ago. So we finally gotten to the conclusion. I think we've come to a real solid conclusion as far as going with census. We've looked at all the major meter manufacturers that are out there, had multiple interviews with them. Technology has actually changed since we started this whole process. So Stan put together a short presentation just to bring the committee up to speed on where we're at with that. And we're hoping to roll this out early next year. Pending your approval. We'll get started with this.
Next slide, please. So just want to spend a couple minutes on this slide to explain the current state of meter reading. So we read, the department has 4 meter readers. They read approximately 29,000 meters on a bi-monthly basis, or 174,000 annually. The process is manual. It's labor intensive. There's 4 vehicles. They have to drive to the service areas, walk to the location of each meter to obtain the data. As you can imagine, especially during COVID time, our customers didn't want people on their property. And that's still, an ongoing issue. People walking through the neighborhoods. We get a lot of complaints. Why are they doing this? Why are they in my backyard? There's animals, so on and so forth. Sean mentioned our meters are aged. So another benefit of doing this project, 40% of our meters are 30 plus years old. As meters get older, they slow down. There's inaccuracies. This grid up here, this is informational. We partner with a lot of municipalities. We read the meters on behalf of Darien, Lyle, Woodridge, as well as the meters that we own in our unincorporated areas. So typically, the water utility owns the meters, but years ago, the county partnered with these municipalities to read the meters. There's other municipalities at the bottom. Those we do not read. Those are our sewer customers, primarily Wheaton, parts of Burr Ridge, Willowbrook. We obtain meter readers from those respective municipal utilities. Next slide, please. So the background of the project. Last year, we partnered with Darien, Lyle, Woodridge to issue a couple of RFPs to leverage scale for the purchase of smart meters, installation of smart meters, and advanced metering infrastructure to the system. So advanced metering infrastructure, or AMI, is integrated system of smart meters, networks, and data management systems that enables two-way communications between utilities and customers. It allows real-time, on-time, on-demand interrogations. Next slide. So in the area, this chart shows for residential and business customers what technology is used by respective municipal utilities. AMI, you can see, is quite common now, starting with Aurora down through Tinley Park. Naperville's undergoing an installation right now. So if you're a Naperville resident, you probably already received notification that they're going to come in and install a new smart point. There's also a subset, it's AMR, which is essentially a system that you can get radio reach, but you have to drive past the respective service area or past each resident. And you can see what towns have that. And then manual, we're one of the few utilities in our partner municipalities that are still doing a lot of manual reads. So, we've already touched on some of these, but the project benefits, clearly a customer service will reduce the amount of estimated bills. It will, now if we get a reading, we can read every 2 months. We get a reading that's really high, we contact the customers, but sometimes it's 2 months late and we send notices. And they're like, wow, why didn't you tell us before? Because it could be thousands upon thousands of gallons that's leaked, and it creates bills that are thousands of dollars for our customers. So this is a real big benefit for our customers, as well as for conservation. Sustainability, efficiency. Obviously, we have 4 vehicles now, 4 meter readers. It's just going to be a much more efficient system with an AMI system. There's conservation opportunities. We touched on the leaks already and catastrophic damage. Improve safety for staff and customers. I don't know if you recall, last February, there was a period of weeks where it was extremely icy out. We had some falls from our meter readers. So we pulled back. We said, hey, rest of the month, we're going to do estimated rates. So, just to avoid workers' comp and other issues. Last benefit, accuracy and equity. As the meters get older, the meters and registers are less accurate. As meters get older, they slow down. So what that means, our revenue drops and we raise rates for everybody. So it's just, it's more equitable to have accurate meters for many reasons. A vendor selection process. So we partnered with procurement, specifically Valerie, to go through the RFP process. So I'd like to thank her for her support. And we also partnered with Darien, Lyle, and Woodridge. They reviewed those respective utilities, reviewed the RFP requirements ahead of time, and they participated in the vendor selection process. We had interviews with the prospective vendors. The proposal submitted by Core & Main / Census USA, Core & Main is the distributor in the area, scored the highest in the evaluation process. But we didn't stop there, right? So Core & Main was generally the lowest, or they were the lowest priced vendor, lowest cost. But we negotiated further to get more beneficial pricing for our utility and the partner utilities and our residents. Next slide, please. The contract we're going to bring forward, the structure that's going to be each respective municipality will execute their own contracts to purchase the meters and smart points. Those are the communication devices. The county public works department will also purchase the network antennas and contract for the fees for the database to receive the data and software. We bill on the behalf of City of Darien right now. So the Darien water portion of the bill and our sewer portion is on one bill. So we're going to continue that partnership with them. And we're going to split the software cost with Darien for our respective database. And here are the projected contract amounts by year through 2027, a cost about $1.7 million. Put that in perspective, so it's a lot of money, but we spend approximately $300,000 plus a year for the manual reading process. So as you can imagine, a lot of that cost will go away. And this project has a very favorable ROI for our department and our customers. So any questions to this point?
I can attest to getting calls from, you noted that Glen Ellen has a AMI, and I got a call 2 years ago about toilets or a high water bill, and it was a bad toilet. I got another call a few months ago, my bill was high. Have you been using any excess water? And I had installed new landscaping. So it was nice to get that call. I knew what the problem was. And it really, it just very responsive. So, but the toilet, that was a good couple of months, at least a month. And they called me right away. So that was really helpful. So my personal attestment.
Yeah, thank you. So the software, so it'll be about software, census analytics, we can set alarms on there.
Yeah.
So, here's typical usage. If you go above 20% typical usage, it'll flag the customer service representative who will reach out to the customer. Yes.
Yeah, real quickly, in a previous life, I worked for a municipality, Village of Lisle, actually, and so I was one of my part of my jobs was dealing with water customers. And so this is just a win-win in my opinion, because I mean, there was so much frustration on their part when they did not know that they had these high water bills coming. And I'm saying that it is going to help our staff immensely in terms of getting the headache phone calls, quite honestly. And I love that we're going to be saving 95% of mileage associated with this. I think that's a great for the economy, and I love that our staff's going to be safer in bad weather conditions. So
The one thing I would like to add on this, and you kind of touched on it, this in conjunction with a revision of our entire billing system, the two of them together gives our customers a lot more power and knowledge that they've never had before. Being able to log on, figure out, really set up. And in today's day and age, everybody's looking on their smartphone, they're setting up the accounts, and now we're finally getting into that current age with what we're doing with all of
I
this.
think that's just a total win.
So the big positive is this project. A couple of years ago, Lisle replaced the majority of the residential meters. They went with the census iPearls. And with this project, what this means for Lisle is they don't have to replace those meters. We could simply, the Lisle Public Works will attach a smart point onto the existing touchpad. It just requires a few minutes of programming, and they'll be up live on there.
Perfect, and then they'll get the same kind of
Same
reports,
yes.
things like
Yes.
that. Okay.
So it'll be a retrofit rather than disturbing and trying to get inside their customer's house in Lisle. They do one from the outside.
That's fantastic. I'm an Illinois American Water, so.
And it certainly beats a replacement. Member Zay.
Nick, what's the unaccounted water?
Different system by system, but we are anywhere from, I say 9 to 15%. But this will absolutely reduce our unaccounted for water out there, because all unaccounted for, we're still paying for. And so by reducing it, I mean, the state of Illinois, better than anybody with what's happening out there. The state of Illinois is cracking down really hard on it. So this dovetails nicely with that initiative to reduce the unaccounted for.
The one thing I'll add is 2 years ago, when as the unaccounted for started creeping up, we targeted our bigger meters, our larger meters. That was kind of the low hanging fruit. So we've addressed that. Now we're digging in even deeper in the residential. So we're hoping that we'll see that drop even more.
It's just more equitable. You can charge people for what they actually use, and it's just an equitable division of expenses across the utility. I will tell you on the second one up there, we've had a long-standing relationship with the city of Darien where we do all of their billing. And so there's one bill that goes out for water and sewer. We're exploring that same relationship with Lisle. So we're exploring that. I don't know whether it's going to come to fruition, but it's actually been a great one. And Lisle's been very impressed with how it's worked with Darien, and they might go along the same route.
All right, any other questions or comments? for Stan or Sean?
We would anticipate these coming, the awards for these projects coming before this committee probably in January, if there's consensus by this committee to move it forward. And then all the hard work starts of getting all the meters replaced and doing that. But if concurrence with the committee, will bring them forward for consideration of approval.
What is that?
Yeah, on account of water, the city of Chicago raises rates every year. It's CPI or 5%, whichever is less. Well, it's always been about 1.2%. It's 6.4% right now. So you got to assume there's going to be a 5% increase in water rates. The water commission's held that and we've eaten it. But
For a lot of years, you
for a
guys.
lot of years, because it's only been $1 million or $2, $1.2 million, $1.3 million, something like that. If this goes, it'd be around $6 million, which we won't be able to, we'd have to pass it on at that point. So again, if you've got a large unaccounted water, this is the time to do it because the price of water is going up.
Yep.
Count on that nationwide, so. Any other comments or questions? Okay, hearing none, thank you. Thank you so much, Sean and Stan. Okay, moving on, any old business? No old business? How about new business? Okay, hearing none, I'm gonna move to adjourn. All in favor?
Aye.
Thank you.